it's really interesting. If you go back and look at that speech, I did mention a number of attributes, and really they were characteristics of our peer comparators. So if you look at the universities that we compare ourselves to, other major land-grant universities that arguably are, you know how these things go. They're in the 20 who consider themselves in the top 10. But they're outstanding universities. I mean, the attributes I talked about there in terms of first-year retention graduation rates, the size of the research portfolio, the number of faculty, the size of the student body, all of the things that I mentioned there were basically kind of the average characteristics of our peer comparators. And part of what I was trying to say to people is, arguably, if we're serious about being a top 10 land-grant university, we're going to have to look sort of like this. We measure ourselves each year on how we look with respect to first-year retention, six-year graduation rates, how diverse is the student population, what's the mix of graduate to undergraduate, what's the student-faculty ratio, what's overall enrollment, what's graduate versus undergraduate enrollment, a number of attributes. And we actually produce a report on that annually that sort of talks about where are we relative to the goals that we set. And we incorporated all of that into our strategic plan. One of the things that you mentioned, I talked about focus. That universities are great about sort of saying, well, we can't decide what to do. We need to be everything to everybody. And as I explained to people here, we're not big enough. We'll never have the resources to be everything to everybody. So we need to decide what could we be really good at. We either are already good or have the potential for excellence, that are important areas to be excellent in, that will matter in 2025 or 2050. And we have to really focus on a few of those things rather than everything, and let that drive our efforts going forward. So that's when we came up with the idea of the signature areas, sustainable earth ecosystems, human health and wellness, economic development and innovation, and a foundation of the arts and sciences. That's when we set the course in that second iteration of the strategic plan. We're now getting ready to do the third, and we set up those metrics. There are about 10 of them